Sticks and Stones podcast. You are now listening to Sticks and Stones podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Sticks and Stones podcast. I am Corbin.
I'm Jeremy, I think.
Yeah. Jesus. Welcome back to another episode of the Stones and Sticks podcast.
Stones and Sticks, yeah.
This is episode 29.
Yep.
So we will just carry on with people that have worn the number 29.
Right.
And the first name that you put on there is one I've never.
Catfish Hunter?
I feel like I should know maybe, but
He's a baseball player. A lot of people just know him because his name.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard of him.
The name is fucking ridiculous.
I don't recognize John Smoltz either.
John Smoltz was a pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. He was really good for a long time, actually. Like very longevity.
Sorry about that.
Very longevity, yeah. He had a very long career.
Very lengthy career.
Yeah.
Eric Dickerson, everybody knows Eric. Earl Thomas. Eric Berry. DeMarco Murray. I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah.
Like a real long time.
The time it was like right after he got out of the NFL, he had a nasty little, I think he cheated with somebody or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that with?
I don't remember.
Either way, that was nasty.
Yeah.
It was the dirt.
Fred McGriff doesn't sound familiar.
Baseball player.
Rio Ferdinand. That's
for our European crowd that we don't have.
Rio Ferdinand. Yeah, we're not worldwide yet.
Manchester United.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I bet. Well, probably nobody listens knows who. I mean, but I have some people
You'd be surprised.
Some people I know that are like some pretty hardcore soccer fans. I never would even have guessed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's some people probably out there like, oh, Rio Ferdinand. Yeah.
Joseph Adai.
Yeah. Live and let it die.
Haven't heard that name in a while.
No.
Marcus Camby. Brett Boone.
Boone.
My bad. Boone.
Cincinnati faithful, dude. Somebody that that lives around here should know who Brett Boone was.
Cincinnati faithful to what?
Aaron Boone.
Nope.
Both played for the Reds. Both. Better get out of here.
The Grasshoppers, dude, they're bad right now. I had one in my house.
Really?
Yeah, in the kitchen. I'm just like, how'd you get in here?
He's chirping, man.
Yeah, he's
back
wild. So we've got actually a third member of the podcast this week.
Yeah, no shit.
And finally, Chris Carpenter.
Yep, from the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm going to have to throw something at him.
You'll never get him.
He's right back in there. Either way, I guess we're just going to have to zone him out.
It is what it is. They may not even be able to hear him.
Yeah.
I bet you it'll drive us nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the 29s of the week. As far as week 2, he's getting really chirpy.
He'll chill. It's just because we're talking.
Maybe
he won't chill.
But as far as week 2 in the NFL, we've had some wild games.
Yeah, I feel like it was there were some wild games a little bit. I don't know. Do you feel like there was more crazy games than week 1?
No. Week 1 was
Week 1 was wild.
Every game was almost good except maybe like 2.
Yes. There were some games in week 2 that you could have done without even ever seeing.
Right. Week 2 had the Dolphins get blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
By the Bills.
Yeah.
The Ravens-Chiefs game actually was good. I didn't watch it. I wish I would have.
I didn't watch it either. But again, I mean, because of how good it was, you've heard about everywhere the different updates. So
right.
I mean, not updates, but highlights.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar doing the flip and all that shit.
The best part to me that got me riled up, like fired up, was at the end of the game, Harbaugh asking LoJack if he wants to go for it to seal the game. To me, it's that type of football mentality. He has faith in his A1, his number one starters, the captain of the team, the guy that runs the offense. He has nothing but faith in him and his skills and his ability to take control of the game and make shit happen. So, as a head coach, I think it's a fantastic move.
You got to put
because there's not a lot of head coaches that would do that. Be like, you know what I mean? There's
I think
not.
Maybe John Gruden. That's like the first one that comes
You
to
think
mind.
John Gruden would ask Derek Carr if he wants to go for it?
I mean,
I bet you
John Gruden.
he wouldn't ask Derek Carr if he wants to go for it.
Well,
You think?
Derek Carr's almost thrown 1,000 yards already.
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey man, I get it. It's against
nonsense.
your team.
This is
But that's two NFC North or AFC North teams that they went in and they beat.
he has more stats in these first 2 weeks of the NFL than I think he's had in like a 6 to 8 week stretch of any other time period of his.
I would
NFL.
probably agree to that. I had
crazy.
someone text me and say, "Would you say David Carr is elite?" And I said, "Absolutely not." And then that was the Monday night game. I got that text. I said, "Absolutely not." And then he started playing, and he was hitting some passes, and the final pass was wide open. But he's been good. I mean, I know he's feeding the shit out of Waller. Yes. And the second game against you guys said Waller ain't getting shit. Beat us over the top.
He did beat us over the top.
And they got you once. That's where most of his yards came from because it was like, what, an 85, 75-yard pass?
It was a bomb.
Right
over the top. I mean, and every now and then those big plays will get away from you. Obviously, you want to stop all the big plays like deep passes like that. I mean, it's...
Well, and what caught him off guard was I think it was because of Waller on a like little in-and-out route.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick bit on it and then got burnt over the top by Ruggs.
Yeah. Waller will continue to eat a lot of defenses up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's good.
He's Kelsey 2.0.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit better.
Travis Kelsey.
Right.
The Bachelorette.
Yeah. But I'd say that's a surprise. That's the biggest surprise to me is that David Carr has taken that leap so far.
Derek Carr.
Whatever.
Who
Derek.
he looks like?
He looks like somebody straight out of
Toy Story. The mean kid.
Andy?
The mean kid with braces from Toy Story.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that kid's name.
I want to say Spud, but that ain't it.
Yeah.
That's definitely not it.
But for sure, that is the biggest surprise. Just that he's balling out.
Oh yeah, I mean he's doing his thing. I mean you saw there's
been
time
glimpses.
periods during previous seasons where he'd have like a series or even a full game where he was great, and then it'd be nothing.
Right,
it'd be absolutely nothing. And I don't know if that's his fault or if it is
play calling
mixed with no O-line because he got injured because his O-line wasn't worth the shit and he got ate up.
Well, last year, their line was a huge problem.
Yeah.
And I remember in the offseason, Gruden just literally was cutting everybody.
He loaded up on offensive
and then he went and got offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So maybe he knew something. I mean,
Gruden is Gruden. He's
an old school coach.
He's a proven coach, which is why the Raiders paid him $100 million
for 10 years.
Yeah. So
10 years a pop.
Right. So it's nothing against him. I mean, obviously he was under a lot of scrutiny because coming out, people always want their teams, something big happens, like you pay a coach $100 million or we get so-and-so or whatever. And they're like, oh, this season means, but Gruden had to rebuild. You're not going to just go from being the trash Raiders and moving your team to Las Vegas to being, the shit overnight. I mean,
it takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams kind of did the same thing. I think that first year they made the playoffs the first year.
Yeah.
And then it slowly progressed.
Yeah.
But for sure, that's the biggest surprise. I did forget that he did revamp that line till we started talking about it. Yeah, and that's true.
Which makes sense. I mean, he's got time. He's got he's got protection.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ruggs has kind of grown into a
little
bit more of a dynamic player. I mean, he's not shown it yet, but he's definitely got the speed, and that's what he's there for.
Oh, yeah.
But they said he gained like 10 pounds of muscle, which they always say that shit.
Yeah.
Every fucking year, there's somebody, I came in 10 years. 10
He'll
pounds
probably
heavier.
lose 15 pounds of muscle or whatever during the season. So,
right.
I mean, that's what the off season's for.
But definitely interesting there. The other big part is how well, I wouldn't say how well the Ravens are playing with a depleted team.
That is a big topic of conversation because, I mean, they got like 12 people that are injured right now, 12 or 14 total.
Something like that.
Total people that made their 53-man roster are injured. I think it's like 12 or 14, which
and
is
most of them are running backs.
yeah, that's a shit ton. That's whose squad I was looking at that had like 10 running
Yeah.
backs. It was the 49ers.
Yeah, well, they do too. And they've literally just
Which
signed
is
like
a joke. They
they're
signed
looking
another
at 2
one.
more running backs now. Because every week it's literally every week all 3 running backs get fucking hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. I was talking to somebody and they were like, "What are you talking about? It's not that bad." And I'm like,
That's terrible.
"It's not that bad yet." Like as of it was last year. Because last year literally
It'll get
everybody was
there.
dead.
It'll get there.
Yeah, exactly. We're
It'll
week
get there.
2
It'll
and you're
get there.
already
Yeah.
depleted again.
They'll get there. I mean,
that hit that Sermon took was bad.
yeah, it was a nasty one. And now is he
He's on track to possibly play. That's what we were told.
okay?
Or what I read today.
Play this week or play this season?
Play this week.
Okay, yeah. I knew it was bad, but I didn't think he was going to be like. I know he got a concussion, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a confirmed concussion.
Yeah.
Then Mitchell has more than a stinger, but he's on track to play. He won't probably play, but maybe a quarter.
Right.
I
Which
mean,
is just
A shoulder injury for a running back is like a no-no. You're not going to be able to get over that.
Which, hey, man, this means Deebo Samuels could continue to be the top wide receiver in the NFL after week 3. Because, I mean, that's the thing.
He's had 2 weeks. I don't think week 2 he had over 100 yards, correct?
I don't think he had over 100.
But he had like close to it, like
mean,
95.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is going to help keep him up with. I mean, week 1, he killed it week 1. It was nuts.
Yeah. Playing the
So-
Lions will do that.
Yeah. God, Lions.
First half surprise in the Monday night game was Jared Goff. Second half demise was Jared Goff.
Looked like Jared Goff of the past. It's just.
You know, I saw a stat today. He's looking for his first win in the NFL without Sean McVay still.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna. Well, but who? Jared Goff?
Yeah.
Well, he's only been with Sean McVay.
No, he hasn't. He was a Jeff Fisher product.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And he was drafted by Jeff Fisher, played a season under Jeff Fisher, and
Right.
went 0-8.
yeah,
And then he's 42-20 with McVay.
mm-hmm.
And he is now 0-9 after Monday night. Because he's still looking for his first NFL win without
Well,
Sean
yeah,
McVay.
but I mean, he's good. I mean,
So he's had
well,
3
the Lions
coaches.
win a game. The Lions will win a few games here, so I'm not.
No. I'm just saying it's just a wild
But
stat.
it's not. He's not great. I mean,
He has glimpses.
So again, they're playing in the rain. This is the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna play in the rain sometimes.
Right.
He looked like he had never practiced with a wet ball before.
Well, he is a Cali boy.
I
and
mean,
they ain't seen rain.
364
days.
Aaron Rodgers didn't have no problem in the rain.
Wow, he was there for a year. He got to acclimate.
I
I'm
mean-
just saying. No, there was
the old
the first
cowboy,
half. He looked great.
that old gunslinger
Yeah.
out there just looking like Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see.
Fine
We'll
form,
see.
my
Yeah,
man.
we'll see.
He came out. I don't even know what to say about it.
I mean, they looked like they were in trouble at first. Because I was like,
but that's what the Lions do. The Lions will always the Lions will mess around. They'll put a little effort in. They'll do what they can to keep up, but they're not. They've never been able to keep up with anybody.
well,
I mean, they make some of these games look like like they're in the playoffs fighting for their division spot, or like they just they're winning their division, or they're about to go to the Super Bowl. It's just it's week 2.
right.
It's like watching the Lions in the first half of the season always looks like they look tired, like it's week 14 or 15.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess that's the best way I can put it. Like they just look like they're at the tail end of the season and we're fresh.
I am surprised how well their wide receiver core has been, because they've had. I mean, they got rid of Galladay,
Yeah.
and you probably can't really name anybody off their wide receiver core.
Not off the top of my head.
Right.
I mean,
That's just, and they've done decently.
they have.
I mean, they got back into a game against the 49ers. They were in the game in the first half against the Packers, but the Packers knew they had to win that game. That was a win this game or media is going to have a shitstorm.
But there's no excuse for.
You're fine.
There's absolutely no excuse for the Packers not winning that game. You have a defense that is the same defense you had last year, which was one of the top 5 defenses in the NFL. You have Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
You have Aaron fucking Jones.
Yeah.
You've got Aaron fucking Rodgers.
Well, that's the thing is last year I felt like they kind of neglected Jones in a sense.
They gave him a little more rest having a Jamal Williams with Aaron Jones.
If I got Aaron Jones, I'm running him.
Which is what they did.
Well, yeah, and I would do it
You
all
have
season. You have a backup there.
Devontae Adams.
Yep.
You've got Old Faithful back. Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tunyon's good too.
Tunyon is good. You got Lazard. You've got Valdez Scantlin. I mean, you've got a team. There is no
oil
excuse
company,
for what happened.
Valdez.
Yeah, Scantlin. You ain't got. There's no excuse for what happened against New Orleans, except for it was just a trash ass game.
Yeah.
Because the same Packers that played the Lions, I feel probably would have rolled the Saints. I don't think it would have been as high a scoring game. I don't think there would have been a biggest gap as far as scoring goes, but I think they still would have won. It would have been a close game, but they would have won. Aaron Rodgers performing like he did in week 1 again, there's no way.
I think coming into the season, obviously Sean Payton is a better coach than LaFleur.
Oh yeah.
So he gets an unlimited time to scheme against a Packers team that he knew probably was going to do the same shit.
Yeah.
Not much different.
Their offense isn't any different than it was last year.
Which is not good when it comes down to playoff time, because if they do meet them, I think the Saints probably will beat them again.
No, I'm telling you what happened with your boy Jameis Winston and his LASIK eye surgery.
I don't buy that. And here's why. I'm going to tell you why. They had 8 coaches out, and you know who their player personnel of substitution was in that game against Carolina last week? Their backup quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
So, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the Panthers shouldn't have won.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a big deal, man. You got 8 coaches out. You got a backup quarterback back holding your substitution board and trying to get guys in and out. Dude, I was sitting there looking at the stats.
A mess on the side.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting there looking at the stats, and I was like, has fucking New Orleans been on offense at all? And it was going into the third quarter.
No.
And Kamara had 3 carries.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was a bad.
It was just. So this year, the NFL has basically said if you have a COVID problem, you deal with it. We are not rescheduling the games. The games will be Sunday. If you cannot play, it will be a forfeit.
Yep.
It's worse this year than it was last year in that sense.
Yeah. As far as the rules go, this year it's a lot worse because last year they rescheduled games.
They
made games up, and you still had your full.
Yeah, they had every game.
Right.
This year,
just like, no.
If you get in trouble, I feel for you because you will be in trouble.
Yeah.
That is one thing you do not want to get into because the Saints showed that was a clear and evident thing that, are the Panthers legit? I guess that's the next question we can get into. Your best 2-0 team. What? Let's see here.
So
I sent you the email. Let me open up my emails. But I sent you an email and asked who the best 2-0 team currently is, and I can't find my mail now for some reason.
I can tell you who it is.
All right, there we go. Best 2-0 team. We have the Bucks, the Rams, the Cards, the Panthers, the Niners, the Raiders, and the Broncos. All teams that are 2-0.
Yeah.
Who is your best team currently?
Best well-rounded team that's 2-0 right now, in my opinion, is probably going to be the Cardinals.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Here's the thing. I would say it's
I thought you were going to go Bucks for sure.
I thought about it.
Okay.
But here's the issue.
Off the beaten path.
If the Bucks don't figure out how to run the ball,
that's true.
they're not going to go far.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to win some games. They're going to have a plus season. Like, you know, they'll win more games than they lose, but they're not going to make it through the playoffs without a run game.
Yeah, it was late in the season, probably maybe a week before the playoffs started. They figured out, hey, we need to use Fournette.
Fournette hasn't done much these last 2 weeks.
Well, they don't
Jones
use
hasn't done anything. And those are their 2 starting backs.
I'm a firm believer that some running backs just need carries. Like some
You-
guys, you may be like give them 15 carries by the fourth quarter. I guarantee you that defense is going to be worn down, and Leonard Fournette is one of those running backs.
He absolutely
He's
is.
not going to juke you. He's not going to put a highlight reel. The only highlight reel he might put on you is if he runs you over.
Yeah, you have to continue to give him those chances, though. Jones hasn't proven himself as that kind of back at all, but Fournette has. So, for me, when you have both of them, Jones also has a problem with throwing the ball up. So,
But what makes you think that the Cards have a better running game? Just because Edmonds?
Edmonds and because of Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray can run.
That's true.
That's a slippery little man.
Well, he's a midget.
He is a slippery little man.
The baby Yoda.
Yeah.
That's what he did this weekend when he scored.
It's like he's transporting himself across the fucking field.
It's have you ever seen the video where they have the miniature what's his name, Shrek, at the dog like a dog Westminster dog show? And they're doing the run through.
No.
It's a baby Shrek that's moving like extremely fast. And he says, every time I see Kyler Murray running, I think of this video.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of like that.
And that's, I mean, but there are teams that basically, I mean, we talk about LoJack. LoJack is going to have the primary amount of rushing yards for the Broncos, for the Baltimore Ravens this season. Like,
There's
will
only
have
2
more
running
rushing
backs
yards.
currently higher than him in rushing yards.
Exactly.
So,
I mean,
but do you think that continues? Do you
For
think
Kyler
he can?
Murray?
No, for Lamar.
no.
Because Kyler's not a he. I mean, he's a more. I'm gonna get super slippery in that pocket. I'm gonna run back and forth, and I'm gonna find somebody open.
Yeah.
Whereas Lamar, if it's the shit's breaking down, I'm running.
Lamar's not waiting. He's not going to keep looking. He's going to give you one look. He's going to maybe do 2 looks. After that, he's already on his way downfield. That's it.
Yeah, I would agree with
So,
that.
That's why I don't ever bet on Baltimore receivers, because
Mm,
if he's going to give you a look. If you're not open, he's going to take it into
I
his
think
own
they've
hands.
kind of figured out Hollywood Brown.
They have, but I mean,
Now against AFC North teams, is that going to continue? Because you guys know each other very well.
Yeah.
But what I've noticed in the 2 games that I've watched, they are moving him in like basically in motion, like Devontae Smith the year that Alabama
yeah,
just constantly moving him.
yeah,
And when they played the fucking Buckeyes and he destroyed us
yeah.
because they just were just putting him in motion,
Putting him everywhere.
and we couldn't do anything.
No.
You know.
I mean, that is definitely going to help them out, because he has to carry all the weight of making the defense stay on their toes up front, because they don't have a run game right now. So it's just a matter. I mean, they have to find a balance there, though. I mean, again, when you're playing, so they'll have 6 games. 6 games against the same teams that play them every year. You know what I mean? You play, Steelers, the Browns, Cincinnati. They play the Ravens twice a year every year. So they're used to the LoJack bullshit. So I feel like I said it last year as far as him not being able to continue to do the same thing. But I feel like, this year it'll decline a little bit more. I mean, if he can continue to do it and defenses allow it, then he's,
Right.
he's killing it. But
All it takes is one hit. That's it.
right. So that's, I know it's kind of a cliche thing that a lot of people say, but honestly, I mean, when he's putting himself out there like that, I mean, these same, not that he's the same quarterback as he's definitely not the same quarterback as Vic. Vic was way more of a passing quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
No, I would disagree with you there.
Vic didn't have Lamar Jackson's already passed Vic in yards.
I understand that, but
Running yards.
I understand that. Here's my thing. I saw a stat that Lamar Jackson has 4 games of 200 yards passing
Yeah.
and 100 yards rushing.
Yeah.
The next closest, Michael Vick with 1.
Right.
Michael Vick did not throw the ball well.
No, he didn't. But it's just
He was a very run heavy. Now he threw the ball well in his later career after prison, post prison. He was a very much more refined passer because of Andy Reid.
Yeah.
And I think he realized I can't be running around anymore.
Well,
I'm
right.
30 plus. Now, I mean, a lot of those years were stolen because he went to prison. So who knows?
Yeah.
But
I still feel like Lamar Jackson's faster. I mean, he has a bet. Lamar Jackson is more.
I wouldn't say he's faster than Vic. But Vic's the
I don't know,
fastest
man.
human being I've ever seen, besides Jacoby Jones.
Fastest human?
Besides on a football field, should I say? Let me take that back.
What
Fastest
about these
human.
receivers and these corners?
I mean, a lot of these guys don't have the ball in their hand 90% of the game.
Okay, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Vic was a human highlight reel.
Yeah, for sure.
And
agree.
so is Mahomes. But Mahomes is a little bit better at reading a defense, not by much, but
Right.
a little bit. And I think the league's kind of changed a little bit to where it's a little bit easier for him to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, who knows? I'm not taking away anything.
Well, no, and I like to take away some stuff from Lamar Jackson because it's I don't know. It's I need a defense to try to figure this stuff out because, like you said, it takes one hit, and then but like I was saying, there's other quarterbacks that I feel like have gotten years taken off their life because they put themselves out there and they've taken hits. Cam Newton would take hits. Cam Newton is like 6'4" and 240 pounds or so.
Yeah.
Like Cam Newton's a big ass quarterback.
Right.
But at the same time, when you're getting thrashed by linebackers and defensive linemen in the red zone and on the goal line,
Yeah.
you can't keep doing that.
I mean,
you're not a running back. You can't keep doing that.
The ultimate one is Robert Griffin.
Without a doubt.
I mean, Robert
Without a
Griffin,
doubt,
that
taking
first
hits.
year was electric.
And those hits weren't necessary. He
No.
put him. RG3 did that. His whole.
He robbed his own
He
self.
did hit all that shit to himself.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree. Right.
He
But I
wouldn't
mean,
be.
that guy was
We got an
electric.
update today that there's teams looking at RG3.
right.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
Whatever. I mean,
hey,
he ain't
could be
getting
the comeback.
No.
He's still, but oh, that's right, because he's not on Baltimore anymore, right? They cut him loose because last year he was with Baltimore.
Yeah, he was their third string quarterback behind Penn State.
RG3 is just
McSorley.
happy to be on a squad, man.
McSorley's the third string quarterback now.
Yep.
All right. I would say for me the best 2-0 team, if I had to choose with a gun to my head, and it ain't the Rams, I might go based off of 2 weeks what I've seen and the teams that they faced. I'd go the Raiders.
Oh God,
I mean, you guys, the AFC North is tough.
they are.
You guys are tough. You are tough teams. You guys will fight tooth and nail.
That's
I mean, so I was surprised you guys beat the Bills.
I wasn't.
Well, and I get it.
I'm more
You're as a
surprised that
fan.
we lost to the Raiders.
Well,
but
here's the thing. You beat the Bills away. You lost to the Raiders at home. That should be flip flop.
We beat ourselves.
Well, yes and no. The other thing was the surprise is they beat him without Josh Jacobs,
Yeah,
and Josh Jacobs is a
big
top
part of that offense.
5 to 10 running back. I mean, in
Yeah.
the NFL, he is good. It really was David Carr, and that was it.
Yeah.
I mean, he passed the ball really well.
He did.
So off of those 2 games, that's where I'm going. I know that's a big surprise. A lot of people are like the fucking Raiders. But here's the thing: we get this weekend a ultimate fucking super duper matchup: the Buccaneers versus the Rams at Los Angeles. So the pick will come here later. We will be picking. So,
Yep.
But yeah, I would go with the Raiders. All right. So who is your current 0-2 teams that may turn it around and make the playoffs?
That may make the playoffs.
Uh-huh. Well, actually, okay. Here, hang on. Before
This
we
is
do
what
that, hang on.
We're gonna
Before
start
we do
cutting
that,
teams off this list that
Yeah, but
definitely won't make the playoffs.
hang on. Let me ask you this: a 2-0 team that does not make the playoffs, would it be the Broncos, the Raiders, the 49ers, the Panthers, the Cards, Rams, or Bucks? Which team does not possibly make the playoffs out of that?
I don't think the Broncos will make the playoffs.
You think the Broncos miss? That's the one I would pick.
The Panthers.
Or the
though. I mean,
Panthers.
because Sam Darnold's doing so good down there.
Um,
Christian, I mean,
I would go.
it's going to be between the Broncos and the Panthers, I think.
There's no way that 3 teams out of the AFC West make it because the Chargers are good too, and they just haven't figured it out.
Yeah, that's
and they lost to the Cowboys. So.
right.
Yeah, I would go Broncos. All right, so out of the 0-2 teams, which team makes a shot, or which team has a shot at turning it around and possibly making the playoffs, or at least having a winning record? We got the Minnesota Vikings, the Giants, the Colts, the Jags, the Lions, the Falcons, and the Jets, all at 0-2.
So I honestly don't think the Jags stand a chance. I don't think the Lions stand a chance at turning it around. I don't think the Falcons will turn anything around, or the Jets. So honestly, that leaves the Vikings, the Giants, and the Colts, which are all, I mean, I don't know how tough the Giants are, to be honest with you.
I think you also got to think about the division.
Right. Based off their first 2 games, I don't feel, I mean, it's like, I wasn't impressed.
If Wentz stays healthy,
The
I
Colts
could see
could
the
be a tough
Colts.
team. If he can stay healthy, which
I mean,
is
they gave
a
us
stretch
problems.
because he can't be healthy.
Yeah.
He just cannot. It's I don't know what his deal is. The Vikings,
Well,
I don't know.
That's
man.
another guy that just doesn't know how to not take a hit. And
Yeah,
Wentz.
I mean,
Wentz
Wentz or Cousins?
Wentz.
Wentz
Wentz
yeah,
gets fucking
man, I don't,
drilled.
I don't understand. I don't know because it's not like he's always on the move.
Yeah, but every play is his last.
Yeah,
That's the
true.
way he lives, man.
Yeah,
Live
which
and
is
die.
ridiculous. I don't know about the Vikings, man. I don't.
I could see them losing this weekend.
Yeah. Well, they're not. They don't have Cook. Cook's not going to play this weekend.
What happened to him? Because he came back in. I think it was a
know.
concussion or something.
I believe that it was also.
So we're
a
both
concussion.
in the firm belief that the Colts may turn it around.
The Colts could
if
turn around.
Wentz plays.
Who knows what Danny Dimes will do?
I could see the Colts, and I could maybe see the Falcons if they get it together.
You think
but
so? What about? I mean, because here's the thing: Danny Dimes has got mad receivers.
It's all up to Saquon.
He's got Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that defense is not great.
Defense isn't great. The Giants always have like 1 or 2 good defensive linemen, and the whole rest of that squad is shit. That whole rest of
Real
that defense is trash.
Real bad.
I
would probably. I mean, the Minnesota Vikings have the best team up and down on paper.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins just can't be consistent.
The Giants ain't been good since Brandon Jacobs.
If I was a betting man and I had to put $100 down, it'd be the Vikings.
Yeah.
But
I would go with the Vikings.
But my heart tells me that
I think it would be the
the
Colts.
Giants might figure it out. The Giants. That's where I'm going.
The Giants? All right.
Yeah.
I think they could. I mean, Danny Dimes got to do something. I mean, otherwise he's looking at being replaced eventually.
All right. So, with that, I will go into some crazy stats of week 2 and tell me what you think of it. All right. So, Nick Chubb of the Cleveland Browns.
And who they play this weekend?
They played the Houston Texans.
That was
and they struggled.
man.
But the Texans are not a rollover with Tyrod Taylor.
No, they're not, but he's hurt.
But he's out. He's not playing tonight.
No.
So Chubb only logs 11 carries and 1 reception into the game.
11 carries, 1 reception.
And I think he ended with like 90 yards and a touchdown.
It wasn't his best game, that's for damn sure.
Well, I mean, it can't be when you only get 11 carries.
Right. That's true, though. And it's not like Hunt had a ton of carries either that game.
No, that third stringer did.
Yeah.
He did really well.
Right. So,
but
here we go, another team.
another fucking head, yeah.
Right.
Another head into the monster.
They also Odell wasn't playing, and Jarvis Landry
got hurt within the first 5 minutes.
So, I mean, understandable why that was such a tough game. But again, where is this Browns defense at?
Yeah, that a lot of money was spent on.
Where is the Browns defense?
Johnson, Clowney.
All them fools. Clowney, who I told you was like a 07 used Tahoe that you got at a fucking buy here, pay here lot.
By pressure, he is the best free agency signing defensive end. By pressure. Like, I mean, I know that's a lot of like stats and all that shit, but so far he is the best. Now, the stacks haven't come.
He needs to get it together.
But he's one of those guys that I would love to have him. He sets
I
an
would
edge.
love to have. I would. I mean, I agree. He's a good person to have on the squad. But it's like as a whole, they got to do something. There's too much talent on that defense for them not to just be killing teams.
Right. I'd agree.
You know what I mean?
I'd agree.
There's a lot of just random mistakes.
Baker's got to find his groove. They haven't been able to find his groove yet.
No.
But they're winning games.
He's
they should
having
win.
to do too much as well, where he's running for his life on a couple plays here and there.
Yeah, I know they have some issues at line.
Yeah.
All right.
That's another team that has issues at line. They're
They're
Ravens.
deep.
The Ravens are not going to be able to sustain.
No,
because I can tell you now, they picked up Villanueva that we let go because Villanueva was part of our problem last year, the Steelers' problem last year, and he's not good. He's done. He is at the end of his career. The Ravens picked him up, paid him, and now he is their biggest offensive line problem.
Okay,
Lamar has gotten sacked, I think, twice now off of him.
Well, we can segue off of that and talk about the next crazy stat. There was 10 QB hits and 2 sacks on Ben Roethlisberger against the Raiders.
Yeah, which
Does
is
that
not
cause
good.
a concern?
Yeah, it's a cause for concern. You shouldn't be getting. Are you kidding me? That's hands on the quarterback.
37. How old is he now? 30?
36. 37.
36.
He's 37. Yeah, obviously you don't ever want to see that. You don't want to. But that's part of the issue why he's not having time to pass because he has 3 serious receiver threats. Serious, very good top tier receivers. He has Najee Harris. Shout out to Najee Harris getting his first NFL real season touchdown, by the way, off of a fucking pass. What's up?
That was a nasty stiff arm.
Against a
good safety defender.
He turned into the gravedigger for a second, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was strong.
It was hey, you know where that comes from, right?
What are you talking about?
It comes from Alabama.
That comes from more than Alabama.
You know where Derrick Henry got it, huh?
I don't know where he's from originally. If he is from originally,
Nick Saban taught them fools that.
Yeah, he got him in the locker room and the weight bench.
It's hard to get, but that's the thing, though. You have to be able to rely on your offensive line, and when you're getting touched that many times and you're getting sacked twice and stuff like, don't get me wrong, it's not god awful,
but it's week 2.
But it is week 2, so you're right, and that's part of the issue why that loss comes against the Raiders because the Steelers are a better team than that.
Should be, yeah, for
defensively,
sure.
They for sure are.
But the Raiders were giving Lamar fits. I mean, they made him fumble 3 times.
The Raiders look good. The Raiders look good up front. They do.
Yeah.
So that may be a team, honestly, as much as I don't like saying, because I'm not. It's the fucking Raiders, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like
just win, baby.
Right. That may be a team to pay attention to as far as defenses go because they gave them fits. They ate up Villanueva off the line, which caused the Ravens a lot of problems.
Right.
They were eating our tackle up off the edge, caused us a lot of problems. So I mean, that might be a team to look at.
Yeah. The thing of it is I guess we'll find out how good they are.
Who they play this week?
10 against the Chiefs, because that's the test.
They'll play.
They play Miami this week, and they're gonna destroy Jacoby Brissett.
You don't know about it, dog. That's a trap game.
It could be.
That's what I like
but
to
it's
call it.
in Las Vegas. So they should win that game, Jacoby Brissett is starting quarterback.
The trap is even bigger.
Well, the trap game could be, but I don't.
What could Jacoby Brissett save the Colts season?
Well, save what season?
I mean,
from going 0-16?
Exactly.
Maybe, yeah, but they went 4-12.
But no, hold on a second. They had Jacoby Brissett was there last year, right?
No, not last year.
was there
Phillip
last year?
Rivers was there last year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Jacoby was not good.
Fuck Phillip Rivers.
Um,
You seen Phillip Rivers lately?
I mean, I know he's coaching.
No. Have you seen Phillip Rivers lately?
I don't care about Phillip Rivers.
Google
and his
Phillip
7
Rivers
kids.
high school coach. And show me what you see.
I'm
Tell
sure-
me
I'm sure he's
what you see, and I'll talk while you
a sack
Google
of
him.
shit.
Dog.
He's probably
I'm
gained some
talking
weight.
like 35 or more pounds.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it, dude.
How? But that's so fast. Offensive linemen that retire don't gain weight that fast.
That dude doesn't give a shit about cardio.
But
never
this
did.
is the same guy, though, as I'm seeing him coach high school football, looking like he's been coaching high school football for like 5 years now.
Hey man,
I mean, he put it on.
He likes the fucking ho-hos
I'm
and
not
corn
hating.
dogs.
Like, I'm a bigger dude. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying it was weird to see because it was like,
for sure.
Phillip?
Is that you?
Phil? So it
hell?
was just it was funny to me. I mean, me and Dad were talking about it because it was just like we were both surprised when we seen it. We were just like, wait a second, what?
He's thick.
He put himself on a little gut, been hitting the bush light.
I'm sure he's a drinker. He's got 12 kids, man.
he reminds me of somebody that likes to pound cheap beer. Like just his bad attitude, his shit talking all the time.
Right. So let's go into Sunday night's game.
Yes,
With
Sunday.
the Baltimore Ravens. They had a time of possession of 35 minutes and 59 seconds to the Chiefs' 24 minutes and 1 second.
Right.
Now, I guess that's a
The Chiefs couldn't get anything going on the ground at all.
well,
Literally.
yeah,
at
CEH had like 6 yards? I don't know.
and a fucking fumble.
Right, a big fumble at the end of the game.
Yeah, I know.
They were within they were on their 47?
Yeah.
The Ravens 47?
Yeah.
Getting ready to probably kick a field goal, win the game.
Yep.
Walk off field goal, boom. Goodbye.
So that's the Chiefs are not the team they were 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl. And they're not the team that they were even last year.
Right.
It's not that they've lost a bunch of people. It's just that they're not the same team playing the same way that they were last year or the year before that. I mean, you've got running problems out the ass. They have not been able to get literally anything going on the ground.
Yeah. I would agree with you. And CEH isn't a blocker.
And it's Patrick Mahomes is not Patrick Mahomes he can scramble, he can get you some yards on the ground, stuff like that. But Patrick Mahomes is not Kyler Murray. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not a running.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't have as many yards on the ground as Danny Jones.
Right. Well, I mean,
You know what I mean? So
he's a pass first guy, but he's very good about being wily in the pocket.
exactly. But if they cannot do any kind, if they can't get the defense to back up a little bit up front,
Right.
they're gonna struggle.
Right.
They're gonna lose more games without a doubt.
Well, that's what I said when they face the Raiders. That's going to be a huge key of how good that Raiders defensive line is.
I think there might be some other teams that are about to tear their ass up front. I mean, because it doesn't look good.
Right. Khalil Mack. I mean, the guy
He had
always
one hell of a game this
Right.
past week.
So Khalil Mack has recorded a sack in 24 straight games. I will repeat that.
That's Hall of Fame numbers.
One sack for 24 straight games.
He's touched your quarterbacks
Yeah.
once.
Every game for 24 games.
24 games. Honestly, that is a hell of a stat to have.
Yeah. I mean, not even Aaron Donald has that.
Nope.
And Aaron Donald is arguably the best defensive tackle in the game.
Yep. I'll give him that.
He's probably got a lot more QB pressures, but he doesn't rake up the sacks.
Well,
as
yeah,
much.
but Khalil's a middle linebacker, isn't he?
He's an outside
Linebacker.
He's a
So
stand-up
he does a
defensive
lot
end,
of
basically.
he does a lot of blitzes, but at the same time he has to do a lot of outside edge protection and some pass coverage and stuff like that. But Khalil Mack had himself a pick six, which I mean,
No, that was Roquan Smith.
Roquan Smith, that's who it was.
That was his
Roquan
first
Smith,
NFL.
That's who it was. I kept saying Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack is so Khalil Mack started with the Raiders.
Uh-huh.
You want to talk about a linebacker? Khalil Mack is the ideal monster.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders tried to trade back for him in the offseason. That's
So
how good they wanted him back.
he was up, and he was. I mean, we talked about this multiple times. He was up for a big ass re-signing contract. I'm talking probably one of the biggest linebacker contracts that there would have been for the Raiders. They said, "Nah, dog, we sending you east, and we're gonna give John Gruden the money we were gonna give you."
Right.
And they did.
Well, John was already there, and he didn't want to get on board with signing him.
Right.
And John made a mistake. He knows that.
Oh, for sure, because they tried to come back and get him. No, dog, that ship has sailed. I'm out here, and I like it here in Chirac.
Yeah, I'm in the Midway.
Yeah, so,
Chirac, Midway.
but Khalil Mack is an absolute savage. I mean, as a linebacker, I mean,
a lot of people hate on him and say that he's fallen off. I mean,
I think he's fallen off.
He's not
just
taking over games like he did that first game when he got to Chicago.
He had a ton of spotlight on him, but he's still very much there. When he can put your quarterback on the ground as a linebacker one time at least 24 straight games.
Yeah.
I mean, those are already Hall of Fame numbers. So
oh, for sure. Another crazy stat. This is a homer stat of the week. The Rams are 2-0 for the fourth straight season. The first time since 67 through 70 season. So that's 1967 through 70. Also, and a little extra stat for your ass, Jalen Ramsey has allowed a 0.0 passer rating in coverage.
I don't know why I don't really like Jalen Ramsey. He just irks me.
Well, in his early years when
attitude
he
that
was in Jacksonville, he was a bad attitude.
Oh man, just
AJ Green beat his ass, and by all means,
he did though. That was a good fight. But AJ Green's actually got into it with a couple defenders.
Yeah, but not that bad.
No, not as bad as the Jalen Ramsey
he body
fight.
slammed
There's that
Ramsey.
one. There was the one with the receiver from Houston. Like this was
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson.
Cortland Finnegan. Yeah.
He pulled his helmet off. Was just beating the hell out of him. I mean, it was ugly.
Yeah, that one was real bad.
It was good though. It wasn't bad. It was good. It was. It was.
Well, Cortland Finnegan
He
deserved it.
Yeah,
he was a
sure.
big time shit talker.
He was known for always being, mouthy.
He would dig up dirt and then try to throw it at you.
Right.
And shit. The Dolphins, they go 0-4 on fourth down against the Bills.
Which is a stat you cannot have if you want to win a game.
Well, if you're going for it on fourth down 4 times in a row in a game, it's obvious.
You are already not winning. You're already destined for an L. The Dolphins have a good. They're putting pieces of the puzzle together. But my concern with that is they're putting the pieces of this puzzle together so fucking slow that as they put one more piece in, a piece falls off because the contract is up, or people want to fucking move to a different team, or they're gonna have to get it together. The
final
faster.
piece is quarterback. They literally have everything else. The defense is nasty. The running back, Myles Gaskins, is good. He's a little undersized, but he's good.
He is good.
But if you get, Waddle, fucking Fuller. They have Devontae Parker.
They have the pieces are there, and like you said, the defense is good.
Stout.
I'm telling you, somebody might be calling somebody and their lawyer for a conference call here soon.
Yeah, Houston's gonna trade him. That's a guaranteed. It's gonna happen.
Take me to Miami.
Is it gonna happen this season? I doubt it.
Man, it'd be fantastic.
But he ain't playing this season.
That'd be so good.
Dog. He ain't playing. So get that out of your fucking
head.
We
already agreed. We both agreed like a month ago that he probably wasn't gonna play this season.
No, not now since it started.
But I'm hopeful that they call him up, be like, all right, you know what? Let's make it happen. We weren't planning on losing Tua. And here, my thing is, Tua's had too much time to prove himself as a good quarterback. We said that last week. He's had too much time to prove himself.
Well, I wouldn't say too much time, but the guy's had 2 hip surgeries. He's now got an injury to his back or ribs.
He's got broken ribs.
And he's out here rolling out to the fucking right as a left-handed quarterback and looking like a doofus.
He's making mistakes he shouldn't be making.
Right. It just looks bad.
And it's not from – and I don't feel that I don't feel from watching it that it's a lack of coaching. Because some of the shit he's doing just doesn't even make sense.
Oh, yeah. It's bad. It's just bad play. The one interception at the end of the New England game, they should have lost, but they didn't because their defense is fucking stout and made the running back fumble on the 5. They bailed him out. They should be 0-2.
They should be 0-2.
Sam Darnold He throws for 216 yards in the first half, but only 88 in the second.
That's still.
Is that a Christian McCaffrey effect? We're just going to run the ball, or is that a concern?
No, I don't think it's a concern because overall, how many? I mean, that's still
they're coming out
300 plus. Yeah, that's still 300 plus yards. Maybe you had to do all this passing to start getting the defense to, you know what I mean, to tighten up.
Yeah.
Now you're making room for Christian McCaffrey, and now McCaffrey takes off in the second half. I mean, that's a very real game plan. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, Sam Darnold, he's a good quarterback. I was talking to Dad about this. Sam Darnold's a good quarterback.
Right.
He just needed a good team.
Right. I mean, the Jets will do that to you. I mean, ask old boy over there right now.
Yeah,
he just threw 4 interceptions.
I
like Robert Salah as their head coach, but the team is just a disaster.
Maybe it's time to sell him and move him somewhere.
Nah, keep him in New York. They can't.
You think
go
so? New
anywhere,
York?
yeah.
How many teams in New York? God,
well, they
don't need that.
They got the Giants and the Jets, and then they have the Buffalo Bills.
They don't need that many. Move them somewhere else. Move them to who's a place that doesn't have a team? Utah. Move them to Utah.
That. Utah doesn't deserve a team.
Hawaii.
No, they don't deserve a team either. King Henry. He runs for 35 yards in the first half, but in the second half, he drops a big old 147 and 3 TDs.
This is part of exactly what you were saying earlier about sometimes you got to just keep on hitting it. You got to just keep hitting that run. You got to keep doing it because here's the thing. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. And you got to keep giving him the ball and giving him opportunities, and it's slowly he's going to wear that defense out, and then you got 3 touchdowns and 140 yards.
Well, I mean, he outran. Was that I forget what DB it was, but he outran the Seattle DB and then stiff armed him on the way out.
Derrick Henry is a lot faster than what you would think he is because of how big he is.
Right. 6'3", 250, 260.
He's he's around right now he's around like 240.
Yeah.
But again, that's a 6'3", 240-pound running back. There's never been one that size that has that.
You think he would run you over rather than run past you.
Right, but he has the ability to do both. He can grab you on the run and throw you. That's how strong he is. And he will not – he doesn't slow down while he's doing it. He doesn't break stride. He doesn't trip up.
Ask the Jaguars on Thursday night.
Right. Right.
That run was ridiculous.
Excuse me. He's a very dangerous running back. And, I mean, that's exactly, I think, what happened to them is they just needed to keep going to him and trust that, their game, trust that he's going to be able to break one off, and he did. And that kind of sets the tone and builds some momentum for the offense.
Right.
So
only DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett at 63% have posted a higher combined target share than Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods at 60. Mm-hmm. But that's the league-leading receivers right there. With Tyler Lockett has to be right behind Debo.
So Tyler Lockett's number 2 right now behind Debo.
Yeah, I would imagine so. DK Metcalf hasn't done shit, which hasn't done anything.
Which is but it's DK garners a lot of attention, so I think he's getting a little bit more.
Well, it's a pick your poison, like we talked about last week.
So who you gonna stack against, DK or Lockett, and whoever's open is gonna get the ball.
Well, I would if I was a defensive coordinator, I would probably try to cover Lockett or DK, but you're gonna watch and see over like the next 3 weeks. DK is gonna start getting. It'll
transition because we're like,
and then they're gonna be like,
keep getting eaten up by Lockett.
Yeah. All right, we're not gonna let him over top of us, so we'll just give DK
airlines. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can't let him keep scoring.
So this week we're gonna get into some this week who should have a decent game. And if you agree with it,
hell yeah.
So Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, and Baker Mayfield should all have big games in their this week due to the pressure statistics through week 2.
So who
and 1?
Who they playing?
Sam Darnold, Justin Herbert, and Baker Mayfield. Give me 1 second, and I will tell you who they are playing. Sam Darnold, Panthers. We got. Did I have him in my starter? Oh yeah, Sam Darnold plays Houston tonight. I'm a dumbass.
That's
anyways.
Right. So the Panthers versus Houston tonight here in a few hours. So this is Sam Darnold, who is again a great quarterback. Now that finally has a good team running backs, receivers. The Panthers' defense isn't terrible. I mean, they're going to beat Houston, but I think he stands an opportunity to have his best. I mean, I think this will be his best game yet so far.
Right. So Justin Herbert faces the 26th ranked KC Chiefs this week.
It's not going to go good.
You don't think so? You think that it won't? You think that's not going to be a light, like just fucking light it up scoreboard?
No. No.
No. I think the Chargers might be.
Where's it at?
It is at Kansas City. Okay.
I don't know.
Don't
it's
give
so
away your
weird
pick.
because
Don't give away your pick yet.
Okay, all right. It's so weird because Kansas City, sometimes they'll have these low-scoring games, and then sometimes they just get in these scoring fiestas where it's just, God, it's ridiculous.
Right. And the the Browns play the Bears. You don't think that he's going to eat up the Bears? I mean, Burrow ate up the Bears.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
His game didn't go.
He also did throw in 3 interceptions in a row, but that was because he was being an idiot.
I mean, you got to get something off if you throw the ball that many times, right? Am I right?
It's true.
Am I right or am I
True.
right? Listen, we just got done talking about Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith.
Okay.
And
So,
Baker's already been running a lot.
well, he's got to break out sometime.
He's got a lot of scrambling, not a lot of. But that's weird though because there's been times when they played Kansas City, that first half of the game, Baker had hours in the pocket.
Yes, that's what they're
He
saying.
did
By
hours.
pressure statistics, they're saying that Baker should have a great game because they do very well at protecting him.
They do in a sense sometimes.
But can
when
he
the
find?
pocket
It
breaks
depends
down,
on
it's
if OBJ plays. I think he could.
OBJ is playing.
Yeah, they did say he was. So
Ah, man, it's tough. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think the Bears. I think the Browns. Well, we're not gonna. All right, I'm not gonna give my pick away because there's a lot behind it.
Do you think he may have a big game?
I think. I don't know how big it's gonna be.
250 plus.
250 plus yards passing.
Yes.
No.
Okay. QBs that might struggle this week: Taylor Heineke, Dak, Cousins, and Josh Allen. Dak is included on this list solely.
What happened I didn't even watch that game. I don't know what happened.
The Cowboys and Chargers?
What? I looked at his stats for this past week because I thought about asking somebody for a little tradey trade. What the?
Good luck with
what
that.
happened?
That game, we both thought it would be a scoring fiesta. Was not.
No.
It was 17-14, something like that.
It sounds like a terrible game to
Yeah,
watch.
it was very.
Pollard had a great game.
Well, Pollard had like 11 carries.
It's almost
for
like they were like
45
Zeke,
yards.
just whatever, dog. And
That's-
Pollard stepped up and
That's going to be a timeshare.
yeah,
Him and
Pollard because Pollard's good.
Yeah. The reason Dak is on this list
I
is
honestly
because
can't believe he's not on another team already. But it's
well,
none of my
they're not
business.
going to let him go now. Dak is on the list solely because the Eagles have yet to allow a pass play of over 20 yards. The next closest, or actually,
But what
other-
receivers have been on the teams they played?
every other team has given up 3.
What were their first 2 teams that they played though?
Who?
Eagles.
The 49ers last week, and then the Falcons.
I'm not worried. The Falcons.
Falcons are
The Falcons
But-
are trash, so I agree
but
with that. The 49ers.
Debo's
the
leading the
49ers had
league.
to. Well, but the
Debo's
49ers.
leading the
Okay,
league.
so they may not have let any 25-yard plus plays go, but their asses got ate up for
I
10,
agree.
15,
well, right.
20.
They were just
Because
you're not
Debo
beating us
still
over the
smoked-
top. That's what
right.
they're saying is
Killed him
if
across
Dak's
the
gonna
middle.
beat him, it's got to be just dink and
But
dunk.
Listen.
And Amari's hurt.
Okay, but they still have.
CD. I
They
get
have
it. Now
CD
Gallup's out.
who can cut you through the middle, but CD is also going to take you real deep, real fast.
Okay.
So I think Dak does a little better than they think against the fucking Eagles.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I would agree with you, but they just. I mean, that's just.
I
some,
think Dak, and another thing is Dak pays attention to what Dak does, and when he has a game like he had this past week, he doesn't like it, so he feels the pressure to come out and step his shit up.
No.
You know what I mean? So I don't think you see another game like that back to back from Dak.
Right.
Not that this past game was all his fault. So
Right. I'm trying to find out who the Redskins play, but I can't find out. Let me see. Scores. Where are you? Yep. We have the Redskins play the Washington football team.
Nope, you had it right the
Plays
first time.
the Buffalo Bills.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not buying Taylor Heineke anyways because they're just not good. Josh Allen's playing the football team. So, yeah, I would agree with that.
He's going to smoke them fools.
I don't think so. I think he's going to get his ass smoked on.
Listen.
But I think, I'm not telling who's winning the game, but I think he's going to get sacked quite a bit.
Chase is going to do what Chase does. But they're even Chase Young hasn't had like a monster play yet this season. He's had good pressure. He's had tackles. He's had a couple sacks.
It's going to get going.
He will get going, but I don't think it'll be against the Bills. The Bills are good.
How well did you guys do? Did TJ get in there?
Who? Against the Bills?
Yeah. Then I would agree, yes. He's going to get in there.
Are you comparing TJ?
I am. Yeah. I am.
You're comparing
I think that defensive line is better than your defensive front.
You're comparing who should
I
have been
think their defensive line is
the
better
Washington
than,
is?
Yes.
You're out of your
Absolutely.
mind.
Yes. Now, their secondary isn't. I'm not saying
not
that.
even close.
Okay. So, Saquon, Devin Singletary,
That's the issue with
and
Washington.
Zach Moss.
Their secondary's trash.
Yeah. Saquon, Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, both are playing for the Bills. CEH, Zeke and Pollard should feast in week 3. Saquon, the only other players that have had more timeshare or snaps on the field are Najee Harris at 95%, Kamara at 84%, and Joe Mixon at 83%. Were the only other players on the field more than Saquon Barkley.
Which I love because this is our running back. This is who he is.
Yeah, Najee's getting fucking work.
But no, he's not getting overworked to where it's like
No.
we don't have receivers.
But they just don't bring anybody in.
No,
they trust him.
Again, we need you to get your sea legs. So
they trust him in pass protection, which is
yeah.
very unique for a rookie.
He is literally the biggest back they have. You should see the team photo of all the backs.
He's fucking
it's
huge.
Like all the backs, and then Najee. I'm just like, God dang, you don't realize how big he is until he's standing next to some of these other dudes.
Right. But I think Saquon may have his first 100-yard game this week.
I would agree with that.
They are facing.
I would definitely agree with that.
The Atlanta Falcons. Yeah.
Who the hell's going to run the ball for Buffalo? Who knows this week? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Zach Moss and Singletary
and
both.
Right. So it's like
they should do well, but and that's the only way they win that game. I think.
I'm telling you,
they're not going to win passing.
Diggs is going to slice that defense in half.
Well, I know you hope.
I don't have him. I'm just saying it's good. Diggs, man.
All right, so for week 3, the odds for a blowout are in these games. This is the best odds.
All right.
Panthers over Texans tonight. Raiders over Dolphins, who just got goose-egged, which is a rarity in the NFL.
It is. It doesn't happen a lot. It's
Cards over Jags. Bills over Skins.
Cards over Jags. Bills over Skins.
And Ravens over Lions. And they had the Rams over the Bucks in a blowout.
No.
They had that. I don't.
That won't happen.
Now
It'll be a tight game. Those are both two really good teams.
Okay.
So,
all right.
The most likely blowout there, you're looking at tonight's game
and Jags and Cards.
And probably the Jags and the Cardinals.
Yeah, Cards should blow them out.
That's
a trap game, though.
It is.
That's a trap game.
No, that's a trap game. It is, though, because
that's at Jacksonville, too.
Some bad things could happen.
Jacksonville's 0-17.
0-17. And
for the last 17 games, they are 0-17. Sorry.
If the Cards walk in there, like, it happens to teams a lot, where they go in and lose these games that they had no business losing.
Right.
That is a very real possibility this week with them.
Okay.
Which would be hilarious.
It's time.
No, should we review last week's picks?
Yeah. We can do that. I went 10-6.
Yes.
And you went 11-5.
Yes.
The one game that separated us, I think, was the Miami Dolphins pick.
Yes.
Which I got fucking slacked on. And I deserve it. My best friend, who is a big Dolphins fan, said, "You're a fucking idiot." I said, "Yeah, I am." So I take that. That was the one game that pretty much defined it. The 4 o'clock games we split on.
Yeah.
You took all 4 o'clock games. I missed 2, so that's where I got caught because I was doing well at the 1 o'clock games, and then and then the Sunday night game we both missed, and then Monday night we got right.
Yeah, the Sunday night game. Ugh.
Yeah, the Sunday night game, I mean, whatever.
It's trash.
All right, week 3, Thursday night, tonight. This probably might come out tonight. It might be in the morning. Either way, we picked it Thursday before the game started. It is 6:20
The sun's still
p.m. EST.
EST.
Panthers at Houston. Minus Tyrod Taylor.
Easily the Panthers. We're talking a possible blowout.
It is a 8-point, I think,
I
favorite
say
for
that
the
they
Panthers.
win and cover that spread.
Okay. I will take Carolina as well. Washington at Buffalo at 1 o'clock.
Not a chance.
You taking Buffalo?
Yep.
I will go Buffalo. Chicago at Cleveland, 1 o'clock. Both are 1-1.
We're going to go with Cleveland because of the quarterback situation in Chicago.
That is Justin Fields' first start.
It's scary to say the least. So, a new quarterback against this. I want this defense to really get fucking rolling on people because, listen, they have every position that they need to just be stomping teams out.
I agree.
Defensively. So, this is a game where that defense could really just chew up that rookie quarterback. So,
I will take Cleveland as well. Baltimore 1-1, 1 o'clock game at Detroit, who is 0-2.
I mean, Detroit's got to win one eventually.
You taking Detroit?
No.
Okay, you set us up to knock us down. Taking Baltimore.
Baltimore.
I will take. Something tells me it's a trap game, but I'm going to go smart. I'm going to take Baltimore.
Yeah.
Arizona 2-0. Traveling east, 1 o'clock game to Jacksonville 0-2.
I would say you got the Cardinals all day. They're going to go 3-0.
All right, Arizona I will take as well. The Chargers 1-1, 1 o'clock game, heading to Kansas City.
Kansas City.
That's a divisional game. It's supposed to be very windy.
Kansas City. Because the thing is, so the Chargers.
You don't think they lose two in a row?
No,
right?
The Chargers' defense up front isn't as good as they need to be. So I feel like this could be where the Chiefs start to figure out a run game because they need to. So
if the Chargers would have beat the Cowboys last week, I'd take the Chargers.
I still wouldn't take.
But I'm taking the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Chiefs because they got to figure out the run game. But the thing is, even if they don't necessarily figure it all the way out, they still have Mahomes and Tyreek Hill and fucking Travis Kelce. So
yeah, but
let's not forget
Derwin James is there. He's pretty good. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
It could come down to last possession.
It could.
New Orleans 1-1, 1 o'clock game, heading to New England, who's 1-1.
New England, man.
I'm taking New England as well. Anything on it?
No, there's not. I mean,
the only reason I take it is because New England's pressure up front to New Orleans.
It just doesn't sound like that exciting of a game, to be honest with you.
I
hate to say
I don't.
that, but
now, if it gets to a scoring matchup, New Orleans all day.
Yeah,
because Mac Jones ain't. He's a manager right now. He's learning. He's doing well.
He can't keep up with the game.
But he can't fucking outduel the Jameis if it gets to a dueling fest.
Yeah, it just depends on what eyes Jameis brings.
Well, it also depends if Jameis starts throwing the fucking ball to the other team. Yeah. All right. Atlanta, 0-2. Sunday, 1 o'clock game against the 0-2 Giants. This is somebody's got to win.
This is the Giants win.
This is the Bourbon Bowl. You're gonna take the Giants to win.
Yeah. In Atlanta.
I
Saquon
will
on the
take.
ground. They got three real good receivers that any of them could take off at any point.
Man, that's a tough game. I'm gonna go Giants as well. Cincinnati 1-1 Sunday 1:00 game. It's in Pittsburgh. Who is 1-1? Pittsburgh is not gonna go 2 games straight, right?
No.
All right, he's taking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh. Indianapolis 0-2 Sunday 1:00 game against Tennessee, who is 1-1. And it's probably
The
Colts
Colts are gonna the Colts are gonna go 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The Colts are gonna
I'm taking
go
Tennessee.
3.
All right.
Man, if only they was playing somebody else, but it ain't
Yeah,
gonna happen
they
this
also need
week.
wins.
That first win of the season ain't coming this weekend.
Easton is not good. He came in literally and threw an interception. That was what he did. The Jets 0-2 Sunday 4:05 game in Denver 2-0.
Denver.
I'm gonna go Denver as well. Miami 1-1 Sunday 4:05 game. It's in Las Vegas.
Oh, we're gonna go with the Raiders.
I am going to go Vegas as well. Seattle, 1-1, Sunday, 4:25 game. So it's a little catered to Seattle, but it's on the road against the Vikings.
Man.
Who are we taking? Did the Vikings finally get off the snide?
My thing with the Vikings are now that, you got Cook that's hurt. I don't know much about their backup running back or his abilities as far as
Madison?
how
he's
good
pretty
he
good.
is compared to Cook. So,
he's pretty good. He's serviceable for sure.
Oh man, Seattle though. Russell Wilson he's a game player.
Seattle can't afford to lose 2 straight, especially in NFC West.
No, I'm gonna go with Seattle.
You saying Minnesota goes 0-3? Minnesota has been on top at least once in every game and then lost.
Yeah, man.
They were up 21-7 at one point against the Cardinals.
Their performance in these last 2 games have been dude.
Well, their performance in the second half
was trifling.
Part of me wants to take Minnesota because they need a win.
They do, but they ain't got the whole puzzle.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take Minnesota. I'm gonna take Minnesota to get off the snide.
Hell yeah.
All right, so we got a split there. That's our first split. Tampa Bay, 4:25
This is a tough one.
at Los Angeles.
This is a tough one.
2-0.
I think this is going to be one of the more
This
tough
is the
games.
premier game of the week for sure.
I would
the
agree.
game
This is going to be one of the closer.
This is a NFC championship possibility matchup.
Yeah.
One of the two probably are going to be in the game, like in the NFC championship.
Yeah.
One of the two.
I feel like it's a real hard call for you. I mean, you got your.
I'm going 100%. I know where I'm going.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and take them Rams because we beat their ass last year in Tampa Bay.
What's the spread?
I think they're a 1-point underdog. So Tampa Bay is a 1-point favorite on the road, which is rare.
It's a fucking close game.
Yeah, it's gonna be very close.
Oh man, we're gonna go with. They did beat Tampa's ass last year in Tampa
With Jared Goff,
right
on Monday night,
man,
and they were 7-6. At that
what's
point.
his name is slaying that thing, but I'm telling you, Gronk and TB12 are connecting better now than they have yet since they've been back together.
And here's my other reason why I'm going to take the Rams. Because Tom knows how unimportant a September game is.
Yeah.
I don't think he's taking it as serious as Sean McVay and the boys.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm taking the Rams.
I'll go with
It's at home, man. I can't go against them at home.
TB12, boy.
Yeah, but I just think he doesn't. He knows it's not the end of the world if we lose. We're 2-0.
I'll go
We're
with
good.
Tampa.
Okay. Green Bay 1-1. Sunday night football.
Prime time.
8:20 against the San Francisco 49ers at San Francisco.
Green Bay.
You're going Green Bay?
Green Bay. Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay. How
long?
long we got to go till Garoppolo gets hurt again?
I don't think he's going to get hurt this year. I think he's going to stay healthy, but I just think it's his last year in San Francisco.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Man, that's a tough one. I think I gotta ride. I gotta ride that San Francisco train.
It's tough, man.
That's a tough one. I'm gonna go Garoppolo and the boys. Shanahan figures it out.
You know why?
We have another bad outing by Green Bay.
You know why? No, not a
I
chance.
think so. Here's a real. The next one's tough.
Slick
This is the Monday night.
Oakleys Jones was putting. Jones come out on the field, score a touchdown, then go back to the field, take his helmet off, put it up, and throw the Oakleys on, and just big chill.
Did you see his necklace?
Yeah, the trainer found it at 2:30 in the morning.
Did he find it? Okay. Yeah, I thought they said they found it.
They did.
The necklace actually had the ashes of his father who died of COVID in the off season.
Yep.
In the necklace, and he lost it,
Mm-hmm.
and they found it. But as heartwarming as that story is, he's taking an L.
Yikes.
Philly.
Yikes.
Philly 1-1. Monday, September 27th, 8:15 against the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas.
The NFC East, shove it down your throat. Monday night premiere.
Right.
As always.
Dak, Zeke, and Pollard.
Taking the Philly.
CeeDee Lamb.
Taking the Philly. No,
Cowboys.
You taking Cowboys? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Cowboys as well. So we split on 2 games. No,
Yeah.
3 games.
Yep.
Again, the 4:00 fucking games. And the Sunday night football game.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So there you have it. We'll see how it goes. You got anything else?
Not really, man.
Any products you want to push? ShamWow? Anything like that?
ShamWow. I don't feel like, not really. I mean, it's kind of just slow motion now. I mean, summer's
Slow
over.
motion
Waiting to get into this beautiful fall.
Yep.
That's it, man.
I
Just
agree.
chilling.
Yeah, the fall came quick because it dropped to like 50 fast.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be back up in the 70s by the end of the weekend. So,
Yeah, I ain't got much. A lot of football. That's about it.
Hell
My
yeah.
life is boring in the fall.
no, it's not
In the
boring.
fall.
It's just filled with football.
Yeah. So, good luck. If you have picks, put them in the comments. If you have comments, put them in the comments. As always, like, subscribe, do all that shit. Give us back, your info, your comments. Oh, we didn't talk about what we did this past weekend.
No, we didn't.
This past weekend, literally.
This past weekend, yes.
It was a good show. We went down to Cincinnati,
It was great.
met up, and we went and saw Theo Von.
One of the best. That was one of the best. I've been to a couple other like comedy shows and even been to some comedy clubs. That was hands down the best. And I've seen Kevin Hart.
He was great, but his co-headliner was just as good.
That
guy
I know
was
of Artie
hilarious.
Manis,
Yeah.
but I've never like watched any of his stand up. I've never like followed him or anything like that. That dude's hilarious.
Yeah, he's very I'm going to play off the crowd and go against you, which
Yes.
is, I mean, you've seen it before.
Right.
But his delivery was impeccable. We had a guy sitting to the left of us.
Oh my God.
Amanda thought that he may have been remedial
It's possible.
or either,
He just
something.
he was in
he
it.
was having a ball.
We did just as much laughing at this dude as we did at the show.
He was laughing at some of the jokes that you shouldn't laugh at,
Right,
more
yeah,
so than
right.
anyone else.
Right.
But
It'd
yeah,
be
it was
like a little bit more quiet and this dude's just cackling.
Oh yeah, he's just going. But yeah, it was a good show. I had a
It
good
was
time.
really good.
Just Cincinnati was, it was packed. Way more packed than I thought.
Cincinnati had like 80 things going on this past weekend. They had Cincinnati, which is which is their Oktoberfest,
Right.
and Cincinnati's Oktoberfest is the second largest in the world,
Wow, it was
only to the original Oktoberfest in Munich.
right.
And actually, this year Cincinnati's was the biggest in the world because Munich didn't do theirs.
Right.
They had that. You have the Reds games going on.
Mm-hmm. Dodgers versus.
You
Reds.
have the Cincinnati Soccer Club's game going on.
Yeah, that was right. You did say that.
You had some kind of I don't know, gamer anime
It was a convention for
convention
nerds.
shit going on. You had that going on down there.
Right.
You had the Theo Von show going on down there. I mean, there was
It's the first comedy show in the Icon.
and that
So
new
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that place was nice.
Yeah, that place is really
Very
nice. It has to be relatively
It'll
new.
be cool to go see some different shows there, some music shows.
Right.
So I look forward to going back down there. But yeah, I mean, in Cincinnati, that area is always super busy anyways on the weekends. But then you put like all this shit going on at once down there. It was wild.
And fuck the tin roof. It was way too loud.
The tenor. That
I should have never stepped foot in there, but whatever.
That little, that's more of a party bar type atmosphere. That whole strip right there. So,
Yeah, the bank. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, that was
Not for me.
the weekend. That was a fun time.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. We were already down there because me and Jay went down there for the Cincinnati trip that me and a couple other people at work had won. So I mean, we were already staying down there. So I mean, it worked out perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it was a good time, man. The Theo Von show for sure was it was fun to go support somebody that you spend a lot of time listening to that's always giving out content to entertain you and you know whoever else. I mean,
Right.
tens of thousands of people that listen to him or follow him. So it was cool to you know
Actually, see him live.
see him live
And he was
and
great.
support them by buying, and it was good.
Right. Amanda asked me if you think some of his stories were like legit, like the last one.
Hardly any of them.
Who knows?
Hardly
I mean,
The shit that he says isn't even possible.
well,
real
some of
sometimes.
it, like the grandma story was wild, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, we
Because
can't.
it's gonna be a HBO or not HBO, but a Netflix special.
So the comedy tour he's on right now was filmed already, but this is going to be his Netflix special, so that'll be coming out in months.
All right,
So,
look for that.
but if you listen to Theo Von's a different kind of comedy. Like his brain doesn't operate the same way as other people.
it's ADHD on steroids.
So if you listen to his podcast or listen to any of his previous comedy, you could like the shit he's saying is just it's so off the wall and it's so like next level. It
may
makes
take
you
you a
think.
second.
It makes you think while you're laughing.
Right. It makes you like he says some shit and you wouldn't get it, and then all of a sudden it hits you and you're like, "Fuck! I get it now."
Right.
You know. And some of the shit you might not even get at all, but it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very funny. If you don't watch The King and the Sting,
Yep.
that's the sole reason I watch that anymore is for just him roast everybody on there,
him to
especially
roast everybody
Brendan
on there.
Schaub.
Yeah. Ari Manis roasted Brendan Schaub during
that was
his
good.
stand-up bit. That was
good. Yeah,
that was good.
But yeah, that was the week that was, I guess.
Yep.
So I guess we'll see you next weekend or
Yes.
next week, I guess. should I
Next
say.
week. That's for show.
So we'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Sticks and Stones podcast. Sticks and Stones. Have you heard? Hell yeah, brother. Thanks for listening.